Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. Many of you has actually asked me to come up and again and discuss about the visitation of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to Bondo when he went there in personal capacity to mourn and to console the family of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Because that visitation to Bondo has actually been talked by many as a grand entry to Bondo by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And many say that that visitation has actually all that the direction that this politics of this nation was taking. And because of that entry of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to Bondo, the trajectory of this country politics is actually making a U-turn. And President William Samoei Arap Ruto is actually in a panic mode because the way Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was actually received in Bondo actually was in style. It was grand. And that is why this visitation is quite significant to many in the political arena. And many people are trying to talk to various speeches that were actually made in that day. And from that day until today, many people are talking about that grand entry to Bondo by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And every person is actually being touched what Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka did. And even many political analysts, they have said that that entry have made people to look differently at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that visitation has actually placed Kalonzo to as next level, to higher level. And that's why I have to do a critical analysis about it. I want to dive deeper and bring to you the speeches that were made and what they really mean to the future of politics of this nation. But before we dive in and try to dissect all that, I could request you kindly today, please, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and request them, if they are lovers of politics, to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who have subscribed to this YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I will never become tired to say thank you so much, because you really inspire me to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And doing all that will not cost you anything, but it will help this YouTube channel to grow. And having said that, let me now dive into the conversation, the analysis of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka visitation to Bondo. And first, I would like you to listen to the speech that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka made before heading to Oboda farm. Please listen to this.
Jim Orengo knows, amongst a few other people, the struggle our brother Raila Odinga lived, not for himself, but for this country. This is why I've come clad today as a comrade. We were in the trenches. We said resist. And I want my brother to know that when it comes to bad governance, we will continue to resist. I want my brother lying here to know they called him names. They said, ni kwa maombi si kwa uchawi. They said, some ganga. We are burying here a man of God who laid his life for the sake of this nation. This is not Mganga who is lying here. This is not Mchawi who is lying here. So we must get those things so our brother rests in peace. And nobody should ever use those names again or associate the Odinga family na uchawi na uganga. On my part, I'll never have worked with Mganga or Mchawi. We went through plenty with this brother. So I honor you today. I didn't have enough time because like the enigma was, Mama Ida, the enigma said, bury me quickly. So we didn't have time. So don't be surprised that the whole nation will keep on coming here. I know that the Kikuyu nation, for example, will come. Our brother Rigiji would want to come. And those who spoke badly spoke for themselves. And others will come. The Luyas were here with a lot of cows. Mama Ida will talk about the cows when you go there, because my brother can't take any cow with him. He's rested. But we are so honored to have this opportunity and to assure him that the values he lived for will never die with him. In fact, he's more powerful in death than when he was alive. Raila Odinga will be more powerful in death, I repeat, than when he was alive. Because he inspired the young Kenyans. He inspired the Gen Zs. And I remember that little girl in 2024 who said on the television, Baba, you have done enough. Rest, achia sisi kazi. And they did. They even went to the Central Business District. And the history of this country cannot be written without a prominence of place being given to our brother Raila Amolo Odinga. May the champion of democracy, may the champion of devolution rest in eternal peace. Amen.
After listening to that speech of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, you can agree that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was actually a friend, indeed, to Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why the death of Raila Amolo Odinga actually touched Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka so much. And even when Raila passed on, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was on a political journey to Israel so that he can talk to the supporters of his cause for presidency in the entire Israel and Europe. But immediately he heard that Raila had died, he came back. Let us also listen to the speech of Mama Ida Odinga in Oboda farm.
Who came today? You've done something that is not very common in this part of area. We know when you go to Yuagongato, inya, but Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka came with 100 heads of cattle. Okay, obiruga gidhok 100 yawa. Anko wacho apparently my ear is not working, serving me well. So I had to call Honorable Orengo to come and help me hear what he was saying. And not only that, he went and showed us 100 heads of cattle. Yawa. Dogotimo maber. Isn't that good? Not to mention the lot of foodstuffs that they've come with. Thank you so much. And I'm sure those who are going to come after you to the funeral, there's plenty of food. Don't worry. The combination has brought us a lot of food that we are going to eat until Christmas and beyond. Thank you so much. And with those few remarks,
let us also listen to the speech of James Agre Orengo. And then from that, we dive into deeper analysis. Please listen to the speech of James Agre Orengo.
In many meetings where people were discussing about who is going to be the candidate. And three times, Kalonzo has said, nakuachia wewe ndugu yangu Raila. In 2013, in 2017, and in 2022, where he said, I don't even need a position. If there's a principled man in Kenya, like Raila Amolo Odinga, is Kalonzo Musyoka. I also want to say this again about Kalonzo Musyoka. This guy has been a vice president. You know, power must be controlled. Ukiona watu wanakimbilia power, ati akiona uzito ya state, wanafikiria wamefika. Those are people who are going to destroy this country. Power must be controlled. That's why Raila fought for a new constitution to oversight any government in power. So I want to see anybody in Kenya today who can say he loved Raila more than Kalonzo. I want to see. The second thing I want to say, Mama Ida Odinga yesterday, I don't know whether he was expecting a guest of such a texture to come today. Ya kwamba hii kitu ya kusema huyu ametoka Bondo, huyu anatoka Imbo, huyu ametoka Ukambani. I don't want to hear about that because that is not the way to build a one Kenya. And today nearly a representation of all Kenya is here. That is what Ida was.
After listening to those three speeches, then you can agree that the way Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had visited the family of the late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was quite significant. And also, if you listened to Mama Ida Odinga pointed out that Stephen and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, they always call each other brother. And he has agreed that these two were brothers, real brothers. And the way that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka actually mourned his brother, the way he condoled the family of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was in another level. And Mama Ida Odinga praised Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka so much that if there is somebody who had mourned for his late husband, well, it is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka brought a lot of foodstuffs. Because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in the first place had to drove 100 cattle to the Oboda farm and brought with that a lot of foodstuffs. That is why Ida Odinga had to say that those who were going to mourn for Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga until December, until Christmas, until next year, they had plenty food because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had made that to be possible. And also, let it come to the speech of James Agre Orengo. In the first thing, why was James Agre Orengo called to receive Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? That also talked a lot of things to the public. That James Agre Orengo is indeed a friend to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And James Orengo went on talking about Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and telling the public that this is the man who supported us unconditionally 3 times, 2013, 2017, and 2022. And if there is a man who is like Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, then it is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that brought out that James Agre Orengo is inclined towards Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And he could like, if possible, the LUO community should actually weigh themselves behind Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. That is actually was the message by James Agre Orengo. And at the same time, James Orengo told the people that those people who you see that they always want to snatch power, to get power, without controlling that power, are the people who are destroying the future of this nation. And many of the people had interpreted that James Orengo was against and is against the broad-based government. And in his wish, he cannot be able to support President William Samoei Arap Ruto re-election. And that is why the way he did all the messaging, it was pointing towards to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka candidature for presidency. Let come 2027. That this is the man we need to fall behind. This is the man who is like Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. This is a gentleman. We must think about that. And that is why many people feel that the Luo nation have something to fall back to. And sometimes that seems to be like an endorsement that the Raila family actually had or have a soft spot on His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And if it was to be within their space, that is the man who should be supported. Let come 2027. Because he has supported the Raila family, the Luo nation, severally and unconditionally. And he has always maintained himself in the opposition side. That was the message. And that is why many people are saying that the Luo nation has actually endorsed Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And they are saying that that entry of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka actually may change everything about the political field of the Luo nation. And the person who will be affected if that changes, it will be President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Because as you all know, William Samoei Ruto is also focusing on the LUO nation, and he wants to count on the LUO nation and the ODM fraternity in large. But we are reading to political divide. Within the ODM fraternity, we have that political divide, which is inclined towards President William Samoei Arap Ruto. And that's why many people are saying that those who are inclined to William Samoei Ruto, they never attended the visitation of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Like Oburu Odinga, he never attended that. Opio and he never attended that. Gladys Wanga, he never attended that. But the visitation of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to the Oburu family was grand. We accept that. And it might indicate a certain political trajectory in the future. My fellow listeners, what do you have to say about the visitation of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to Bondo? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to visit this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you so much. And with that, let me say goodbye until we meet in our next political discussion. Bye.